Shalom Yasharallah. And all praise and glory to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. I say, Allah Yah to his glorious and holy name. Shalom, Yahana. I called you on Messenger, but I get no response. Shalom, I'm on live at this moment. Shalom, welcome. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High, about Shama Mashak Yahushai. Just waiting to see if some more people come in. We're still dealing with lies and deceits. I'm on two social media fronts, so okay. All right, I'll look for your call, Yana. Hope all is well. We're still looking at man, how we've been lied to and how people they hold themselves unaccountable for the things that the lies they have done and lies they continue to hold on to, especially through white supremacy. You can't deny it. It cannot be denied. I mean, from where they came from, coming here and taking over everywhere, really. And the programming that was done to the whole world, you can't deny it. Because when you bring out certain things, at least I've seen through the spirit of the Most High, give all glory and praise to the Most High for allowing, us in these last days to see what we see, because it's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. And the way everybody has been like dumbed down You know, that's why I went a lot of times to Isaiah, the 47th chapter, the 5th verse, how the Most High told Esau to get thee in the darkness. And when he went into darkness, he put the people into um, gross darkness, gross ignorance. Darkness means ignorance and not knowing. And he put the people in gross darkness. Even we as Israelites, we cannot deny this. I'm not beyond the truth, because there's so many things like right now, and just looking at how the Most High in these last days are revealing that BAAL means LORD. Now, I just and through me bringing it out in the spirit, I got that footage of that lady, I suppose, was saying that she was born in the Illuminati and say that the Jewish people play like they're Jewish in the daytime, but when they come home, they worship Satan. And she was Epstein's niece. And she said they worship BAAL. So when you look at that, just try to keep it as simple as possible so it don't really be too deep. She said they're Satanists, she said they worship BAAL. And when you look up BAAL, it means LORD. Now, you're going to have those that they haven't so far, but I'm looking for those that's going to come with some explanation to justify still calling on BAAL, which is LORD. You see it? This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. So now, this is a Jewish man that is responsible for this Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Zondervan. So they're saying here that BAAL represents LORD. So they put it in the Bible because they're responsible primarily of getting that money for the number one selling book in the world. But see, we can't get past the fact of it's in the Bible, and many things in the Bible, but our people still think that the Most High is a so-called white man. Hamashiach Yahushua is so-called white man. And they think that the Jewish people are the people of the book, right? So you got to look at that because there's something wrong with that picture. There's something wrong with the thinking. But they've done a great job of deception and deceiving the people, lying. That's why it's always I'm talking with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. So you got to understand this. It's not only them, but they're part of the white supremacists. Because whenever they look at us, then they categorize us as the same, they call us Black Hebrew Israelites. Because we're a group. We're not a group, we're a nation. We're 12 nations that make up one nation. We are no group, no community, we ain't no organization, none of that. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the people of the book, point blank. Nobody fits the prophecies that would happen to the 12 tribes of Israel but us. I haven't seen nobody break down Deuteronomy 28, 15th verse to the 68th verse and says them as a people, I'm saying. We the only people that fits, point blank. But we've been, brain polluted. I won't say brainwashed because Mashiach Shai said in St. John 15:3, now you are clean to the word which I speak unto thee. So we're not clean because we don't know the testimony of a Mashiach Yahushua as a people, I'm saying, because we haven't been taught him. The only way you've been taught him, if I say, okay, show me him in Isaiah, because he said he come in the volume of the book. And most people that are so-called, we might say religious, they have no clue. of Mashiach Yahushua being in the volume of the book. They have no clue because they've been lied to. Everybody been lied to. And to really think that you're going to follow someone that has had you in slavery and programmed you to think the way you think. That's why I say it's like, you can say whatever, but I know the last sentence of Revelation 18:20, when this came to me, I was like, whoa, it hit hard. Because I've heard our people say it, that they don't want to go to heaven unless the white man going. I've never heard a white person say that concerning we as a people. They don't go to heaven and we can't go. Find that for me. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm very experienced. This is what I do. I've been doing it. So it's not something that, I have so many stories, but I never heard that, Have you? You've heard a white person say they don't want to go to heaven and we can't go. But we'll say it in a minute. We don't want to go to heaven unless the white people can go. Or they always come up and say, what about the white people? What about everybody else? That's my question. What about everybody else? You got to understand the brain polluting that has been done to us. That's why you're a bunch of robots and robotees, period. Spiritual puppets. What else can I say? Hypnotized. Yeah, that's what we got to do with this deception that's been put upon this earth. Bewitched in naughtiness, because it's not the truth. And your brain is polluted. Come on, man. Our people, they don't like, a lot of you probably didn't like school, so you wasn't into really, really learning. So if you wasn't into really learning, then coming into the truth could be something that could be too much learning. You got to learn this, you got to learn that, you got to learn this, learn that. And that's what it's about. Because we've been destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. And knowledge is nothing but gathering information. We don't even want to take the time to gather that. We didn't gather the information year in and year out. Today I gathered information. Today I seen something new. Every day you can see something. You can learn something. But our people don't want to gather the information or acknowledge the information that's been gathered for years. Your phone is not mute or whatever you're on. Got this other channel. Hold on. Okay, Salakia. So it's very important that we see this because Revelation 18:23 says, the last sentence says, for by thy sorceries, that's witchcrafts, were all nations deceived. And we're looking at how we've been lied to, and everybody been lied to. Not only us, everybody been lied to. The elite, they play games with words. And they bring forth their means to be able to have you follow what it is that they have perpetrated in this Bible and in the world. History lied about that. I mean, I've been asking for years. Prove that this is Jesus. They Jesus. That's what they believe. We say Mashiach Yahushua, but prove that this is Jesus. They're Jesus. Huh? Of the Bible. And that's Joseph and Mary. Edomites, Europeans. Prove, if you can, that this is true. This is the Last Supper. These are the men that sat with a Mashiach that was shy before he went to be crucified. These are them. Uh, I mean, that's real simple, right? Everybody's seen this picture. You're in America. If you have any kind of um, so-called Christian background or any kind of religious type of background, you done seen that picture. I don't know where you've been. Everybody done seen that picture, right? So that's what I'm saying. So these are the things that you say prove it isn't. Dub, where you come from? What world did you come from? Prove it isn't. What? You prove it is. I can prove it isn't. You know I'm gonna prove it isn't right quick. Look at this. Dub, whatever. You're gonna dub your butt out of here. That's what you're gonna do. Look, it's only 5 people in this picture. They're called the Borgias. You pay attention closely, because when you go to your mama's house today and you look at that picture on the wall, or in your house, you'll see there's only 5 people in this picture. This is Caesar Borgia right here. That's him right there. That's him right there. That's him right there. This is father that sits at the head of the table. Rodrigo Borgia, Pope Alexander VI of Rome. That's him right there. That's him right there. That's him right there. That's him right there. Here go his brother right here. Same image. Brother right here, right there. Same image. Right there, and right there. Here go his mother right there. Caesar Borgia, mother right there. And there was sister sitting beside him, Lucretia. Now you prove that they're real, that they're the people of the Bible. Dub, come on. Open your big mouth now. Prove me wrong. They're called the Borgia family. Come on, I'm waiting. I got it right here. So you can say who each one of these are. Show me what Matthew is. Point out Matthew of all these 13 imposters. Come on. His hair and his head was white. Feet as when it glows in the Look, I'm talking about, you just dealing with one, I'm dealing with the whole 13 imposters. That's the Borgia family. Come on. That's why I said, that's why we can't deal with y'all. You know, we can't hardly deal with y'all because y'all twisted, man. You know, you done twisted enough, dude. Yeah. You know, his mama too is in the picture, Johnny. Here goes his mother right here. Come on. That's a woman right there. That's his mother right there. All you gotta do is look at Showtime. Go to Showtime on YouTube and put the Borgias, Borgias. And you'll see they call them the first crime family. You know? They call them the first crime family, you know? So it is what it is. Like I said, everybody been lied to. That's a big lie. Let's deal with that lie first and foremost. Since Dub want to say that there were white people that represent a Mashiach Yahushua, man, y'all ain't anywhere in the world. Y'all got the second largest cancer in the land over there in Israel, man. What you talking about? You can't even live over there. What you talking about? Think about that. Put that in your membrane. How you look? Revelation 1:1. The revelation, skin cancer, man. Come on. From the sun, and y'all the chosen people of the Most High? How you get skin cancer from something that the Most High made that gives us vitamin D? And that's no knock on no one except for the truth. We dealing with the truth. Because we got to eat the truth for whatever we did. And here it is. Y'all got to eat the truth. Revelation. The revelation of Mashiach Yahushua. Revelation 1:1. Let's look at verse 14. This is basics. His head and his hairs were white like wool. So y'all, like I said, you know, I told y'all they lied. So what did they do? They took the Bible and I got a lot of Bibles around here. You know what I mean? Different Bibles. Matter of fact, I did a whole lesson, see right here, a TV show back there. One of them probably as a TV show, I said, look how they changed the Bibles up, straight up. This is King James Bible. Look what it said. His head and his hairs were white like wool. But what did his say? What did he put up there? He put up there something glowing like the sun or something. I don't know what it said, but it didn't say white like wool, right? His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, right? Fully gray. Because you don't understand what period of time was it when John the Revelator seeing a Mashiach Yahushua, seeing this vision, if thou might say. You see? You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's gray hair, man. Wool hair is nappy hair. Okay. Verse 15 says, and his feet, the feet, the same color as your whole body, right? His feet, like a defined brass, which is derivative of brown, as if they burn in a furnace, man. You burn anything in a furnace, what color is going to turn? White? Red? Like you? What color is going to turn? Hmm? Anyway, can grow dreadlock. You don't have woolly hair. You can grow dreadlock all you want to. You're going to have woolly hair. And when you take them dreadlocks out and let your hair be natural like it is, it's going to be back to stringy like dog hair or goat hair. Straight up. It ain't going to be nappy. It ain't going to be like wool. That's for sure. And his feet like a fine brass. That's a given of a brown as if they burn in a furnace, man. Come on. That's real. Daniel's seen him too. Daniel's, that's why I say we got to stop all these lies. See how the lies come in here? Perfect example, what I'm talking about. Come on. Deception and lies. Nah, your white supremacy ain't working no more here, bro. Daniel's 10, 5, and 6. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen. Daniel had a visit of a Mashiach that was sad, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz, the best gold. Listen, his body, that's your body. This is my body right here, my face right here, that's part of my body. See this hands right here? That's part of my body. See that hand right there? That's part of my body. Not no clothes, but he said his body also was like the beryl. So I looked up beryl in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, because y'all be trying to say his body was green. Nah, come on, man. We got to make this Bible make sense, right? I mean, I think so. What do y'all think? I think we need to read this Bible, and it's got to make sense. You can't just go off of what somebody's saying. I looked at it, it said Beryl. It says brown. That fits the description of beryl from what we just read in Revelation 1 and 14 and 15, right? Beryl, it says brown. You see right there? Brown. So that makes sense. His body also was like the beryl, brown. And his face has the appearance of lightning, for all the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that's illuminated from his face as he's seen him. He said his eyes as the lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet. So Daniel was seeing his arms and his feet. His arms and his feet. Like what? Like in color. So color is in the Bible, Doug. Like in color to polished brass. What did your Bible say? Daniel 10, 5 and 6. His arms and his feet like in color. They take color out? I want to say everybody been lied to. Like in color to polished brass. But we know that polished brass like get burned in a furnace from what Revelation 1 and 15 said. You can understand through the precepts. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude, had a strong voice. He went out to the sea and talked to people on the shoreline. Come on, man. This little wimpy, where he at? This little wimpy sucker, he ain't doing nothing. Come on, what are you talking about, man? Get out of here. That's what I say. They don't know him myself the other side. They're not known by him, don't know him at all, man. Like I say, if you believe in him, he said this in all praise the Most High. In Hebrews 10 and 7, what did he say? He said, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written to me to do thy will, O Most High. You understand? He come in the volume of the book to do the will of the Most High. People don't know him. That's why everybody been lied to. That's why it says, let me go with what I was dealing with. Because you fit right into what I was getting ready to deal with anyway. You just brought my spirit into what I want to deal with anyway. Psalms 50 and 16. It say, but unto the wicked, you understand? It says, but unto the wicked. Okay, the light, I skipped over the face of lightning. I ain't skipped over nothing. I was dealing with his color. You want to know what his face like on the lightning is talking about? Moving like lightning? Let me show you what that means. You show me what it means. Give me a scripture to back up what it means. And I'll have a scripture. You have a scripture. Okay? Give me a scripture, Doug. Because you come here to be a scoffer, so I'm going to make you work. You ain't making me work, because all y'all do is run y'all mouth and just say, you skip over this, you ain't do this, you ain't do that. Well, you do something. Show me what his face like on the lightning means. I'm waiting. We all looking at you. I skipped over. You tell me what it means through the scripture. We go to understand through the precept. We're not dealing with, and I'm going to leave you alone, period. Because you are not dealing with this Bible and what it's really talking about. I don't have no time to waste, people want to learn. I'm waiting on the scripture to show me what it means. Since it says that, because you got to understand through the precept. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. We talking about what you just said. But the texture of his hair was like wool. Duh. You didn't read that? They took that out of your Bible, right? To keep you in fantasy land. That's the problem. I'm telling y'all, perfect example. We have it right here. Dub is dubbed out. They done dubbed him in, and we're going to dub him out. You're going to be you dubbed in now because I'm allowing you to be in, but you're going to be dubbed out. You know what I mean? Because they ain't talking about no dreadlocks. Y'all still, when you start your dreadlocks and you got stringy, doggy coat hair, it's gonna be just like it is. And when you take them dreadlocks, that doggy straight goat hair out from being a dreadlock, it go back to what? Do it go back to nappy hair? Do it start with nappy hair to have dreadlocks? No, that's hair of wool, man. What you talking about? Anyway, I'm waiting on I skipped over the lightning, his face like the lightning. What's that mean? Give me the scripture. And after that, if you can't really answer this, shut up. And I'm going to just go ahead on and deal with the scripture. You can learn something. I'm not going to be dealing with you, answering you, because that's all y'all do. Y'all come to do this. And you're not going to do this in my class. You might do it in somebody else's class. You ain't doing it in my class. But you fit right in what I'm talking about for deception. Y'all can see the deception. You come to do what? Here you are. The thief cometh not. John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal your mind away from this truth, and to kill your spirit so you won't be able to understand the truth, and to destroy your mind for lack of knowledge. So you won't have the knowledge that we have now. They don't want you to have this. That's why it's such a problem with we coming in this earth right now in these last days, bringing forth this truth as the last men to bring forth this truth and represent the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. How do you fit within those 12 tribes? Moses said he only know Israel. He don't know nobody else. All nations before him are as nothing and less than nothing and be like in a spittle, he said. In 2 Ezra 6:54 down. Now what? He said, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and destroy. I am come that they might have life. You listen to what Amashai Shai going to tell you through the volume of the book, like he just said, he come in the volume of the book to do the will of the Most High, and that they might have it up more abundantly. Yes, that's what we're going to have, y'all. So this is the lightning right here. This face illuminating like lightning. In Ecclesiastes 8:1, it says, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. So a lot of people, they can't handle really dealing with how it is to be in the truth and how you got to be, because they tell you, man, I mean, you got to be like this world want a man to be gentle, a Gentile man. He wants you to be all weakened. That's why they cut off your beard, cut off your mustache, look like a woman. And that's the way the world is trained. While you come in the truth, you got to learn a different way, man. That's why I said in Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not. See, cry loud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet. I mean, you're going to talk loud and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So other than that, man, you don't seem like an Israelite. So it's a waste of time for me to be wasting our people's time that they have and dealing with, that. Y'all can wait till I go to street teaching. Just join in on the Sabbath day. Sabbath day. Tune in on the Sabbath day. You'll be able to get all this that you see it right here that he wanted to perpetrate and bring forth. It'll be right there for you to see. That's why we have to in every way, shape, or form look at this in a real way of understanding. Like Mashiach would say, you come in the volume of the book to do the will of the Most High. So first and foremost, you open it up to show that, hey, y'all lied, man. Y'all bunch of liars. And we not the ones you can lie to. You might lie. You might go into Christian Insanity people. You might talk to them, and they might believe you since you probably a non-Israelite. I'll say it don't matter if you are Israelite or not. If you're in Christian Insanity or whatever you into, you lost. You need to listen and learn. And with that, we're gonna continue with our lesson here. We're going to Psalm 50 and 16, y'all. Psalm the 50th chapter, 16th verse. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? You hear that? Say, what did you do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? Think about that. Because he say, unto the wicked, right? So who are the wicked? Job 9:24. Let's find out. Job 9:24. Look, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Mashiach Shai coming back to judge and make war, right? And he told the 12 apostles, not these imposters, that they're going to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is? The wicked men covered the faces of the judges thereof. Until this day, y'all ain't never apologized for this lie. You know, you really think that the white man gonna come back and save us as the so-called Negroes and bring righteousness on this earth? Talk to me. He gonna come down to this earth and set righteousness on this earth and put us in a position better than what we in now. Because if that's the case, I mean, we might well forget it. I haven't found one that says yes. Our people, yes, they believe that. They really believe that. They really believe that. So it says, the wicked, the Most High, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? I looked in the go to the Apocrypha that the Protestants took out. I imagine why, because this is what they did. First Maccabees 3:48. It says, and laid open the book of the law. So the so-called white man opened the Bible, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Right? Isn't that deception? Come on. Now tell me this is real. The Most High, most of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob would put himself in the Bible looking like this. He's invisible power, but look what y'all did. See that? See that? What does it say? What does it say? It says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. So this white man created heaven and earth. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges there, if not, when who is it? Come on. Who did it? I'm showing you pictures. You want more? I got a whole Bible full. Matter of fact, I got one that show all of y'all like Esau. Red, 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 red. Hair red, everything's red. But, I mean, hey, why not? Why not? I mean, if you had a chance to rule, you're going to do, why not put yourself out there like that? This is it. This is all you got. That's why I said the thief come to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. That's what y'all have done. That's why Moses asking the question. He asking the question, you know? He's asking the question. Answer the question. He asking the question. Answer the question. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? So a covenant is agreement, a contract that the Most High made with someone. But did he make this contract, this agreement, these laws, statutes, commandments, like he's saying, with everybody? Nah. He did not deal with that. He dealing with the covenant is with who? Psalms 105. 8 through 10. This is the covenant right here. That's what he's saying. What do you mean to take my covenant, even this Bible? Like I said, they opened up the book, whereas they painted the likeness of their images. You see? It says, Psalms 105 and 8. Can I get a one if everybody can understand me? Or am I stuttering to everybody that's listening to me right now? So I don't know what you're talking about. Psalms 105 and 8. Who's the covenant with? That's why I said we got to leave you alone, man. He have remembered his covenant, which is a contract of agreement forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. This is a covenant right here that the Most High made with someone. Let's see who he made it with. Which covenant, contract of agreement he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, that's the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. Now, where do anyone else fit into that covenant that he made with Abraham, who had a son named Isaac? But remember, Abraham had Ishmael before he had Isaac. He didn't choose Ishmael. He chose Isaac. And Isaac had Esau and Jacob, but the Most High didn't choose Esau. He chose Jacob. That's why it said. Now that we know that covenant was made with who? Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the Israelites, period. That's why it say, Psalm 50 and 16. Answer the question. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hateth instruction, and cast my words behind thee. They hated instruction, therefore, Proverbs 1 and 7, they don't fear the Most High. They say they the Most High. Who is it that apologized for saying that the so-called white man is the Most High? Well, y'all seen that on TVN? Where y'all seen that at? Where y'all see the apology for the fact that we bringing it out over and over and over again? Mashiach Shai is a so-called very, very dark-skinned man. But yet still, they dealing with, nobody apologizing for saying he looked like this. That's you think you gonna make it to the kingdom? And y'all gonna die with this lie? You're not gonna say it's not true? Come on, man. This man named is Caesar Borgia, man. He had sex with Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, you name them, whoever was available. You know how they do it. Come on. And y'all not gonna apologize for this lie? Until this day? That's why Proverbs 1 and 7 says what? The fear of the Most High, to be afraid, to be scared of my power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the beginning of knowledge. But what did the wicked do? Seeing thou hateth instruction, right? So the fear of the Most High, Proverbs 1 and 7, is the beginning of knowledge. But fools, he called you a fool, despise wisdom and what? And instruction. You can't tell them nothing. So they're a fool. They despise wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge and instruction. You can't tell them nothing. That's why I say the wicked said what? Psalm 50 and 17, seeing thou hateth instruction, because you don't fear the Most High. Y'all say y'all the Most High. Y'all say Mashiach Yahushua. I got the picture to prove it. And cast my words behind thee. Y'all just talk. They just run their mouth and talk. As you see, when I saw a thief, then thou consented with them. You hear that? When you saw them, like the first thieves that came over, we just use this Western Hemisphere. When they first seen the first thieves that came over here and started taking the land here, they told the rest of them Europeans, come on over here and just take the land. That's what they did. They come on over here and get your plot right here. Get your plot right there. When I saw a thief, thou consider with him, and has been partakers with adulterers. You understand? Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Because y'all are the ones that have the power to print all these Bibles and to mislead people. and to lie to people. Remember, they deceive all the nations through their what? Sorceries. But see, that could be right over somebody's head because it ain't something that's talking to building you up. See, Israel, y'all like something that's gonna make you feel good. Go to church, go back to church and get that. This ain't nothing. When I read the Bible, I ain't seeing nothing that's making me feel good. Knowing the condition that our people are in and things that how we've been destroyed for a lack of knowledge, not even knowing anything. I don't feel good about that. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consented with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frame of deceit. But you in order. You in order to be in evil. Doing the evil because the Most High made you that way. You can't help it. That's why I tell you in Proverbs 16:4, for the Most High have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked that we're talking about for the day of evil. So they in order. We out of order. Until we come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High and fearing the Most High, and doing what he say do, having faith in him all the way to the kingdom, humbling ourselves before the Most High. Hear what he said? The Most High made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. And that's what we're in. We're in the day of evil. They ruling. Most says he allowed the evil to rule for the last time on this earth, man. That's why I look. Psalms 50:19, thou givest thy mouth to evil. He made y'all to be the evil. That's why, look. All praise to the Most High. Glory and praise his holy name. Nothing that we could do about it. Look at Romans, the 9th chapter. Let's start at verse 6. It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Even amongst us, right? You got tares among us. You got those that's not going to endure to the end. Those are just coming in, learn a little bit of something. You got spies. You got all kind of madness. Everybody's not Israel. Who's going to endure to the end as an Israelite and continue to do this work? It say, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. You hear that? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. Because y'all be saying, I'm the seed of Abraham. They would say that back in the time of Mashah Shai lived. They always say, I'm the seed of Abraham. You hear what he said? Neither because they are of the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac, you hear that? In Isaac shall thy seed be called, right? So now you done canceled out Ishmael. Straight up, that canceled out Ishmael because Abraham had Ishmael before he had Isaac, right? But he let you know Isaac, from Abraham to Isaac, okay? That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. Who's children of the promise? Come up to verse 4. Who are Israelites? You hear that? You hear that out there? It says, who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. Who they to? Who the promises to? Who are Israelites. See that? So now when you look at, it's telling you, verse 8, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed, who are Israelites. Verse 4, right? For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, going from Abraham to Isaac, here he is. Isaac, right? Verse 11, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil. Remember, the Most High made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. She say, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand. We know what the purpose of the Most High was for the wicked, right? He said he made the wicked for the day of evil. But the children being not yet born, they ain't did anything in the womb, did they? No. Neither haven't done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand that we just read. Not of works. They ain't did anything in the womb. They're just being created as a baby of him, but of him that calleth. That's the Most High making this call. It was said unto her, the elder, the first baby to come out, it was twins, shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You got to eat that. He said, but Esau have I hated. But he said he loved Jacob. He said, what shall we say then? What you got to say now? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? Most High forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Make him have compassion or mercy on whoever it is that you think he's supposed to have it on. Talk to me. You heard what he said. He said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy on. I'm going to have compassion on whom I'm going to have compassion on. So then it is not of him that willeth, because you want this, nor of him that runneth, but the Most High that showeth mercy. He said, last I read in Isaiah 14, he said, he said, Most High going to have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Straight up. Got mercy on the Israelites. But the scripture said unto Pharaoh, that's all I wanted that, but that's enough. Look at it. Go back to Psalm 50. Deceitful people. This is what it says. 19. Psalm 50 and 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Hear that? You give your mouth to evil, and your tongue frameth deceit. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Come on, man. Christopher Columbus never came to America. America named after Amerigo Vespucci, Daddy Demite. And y'all teach that in the schools. Come on, man. And over and over and over again. My Shekabashai birthday is on Christmas. 12/25. Come on. 12/25, man. You don't even want to know what y'all do. We go through that when we go through the Feast of Dedication, man. Man. Y'all was doing some handiest things on 12/25. You want to see what y'all did on 12/25? Let me show you what y'all did on 12/25. Every time y'all out there, especially you Christian Sandy people that's operating under the hypnosis and the deceit of these people. This is what they did on the 25th of the month. Man. We're going to look at First Maccabees 1. So I took it out of the Bible. The apostles took it out of the Bible. First Maccabees, the first chapter. We're dealing with deceit, y'all. And we're dealing with all the things that, you know, have taken our minds and put it into this obscurity of ignorance. For real, for real. Now, this is what they did on the 25th. And just what y'all celebrating. Just remember, whenever you celebrating your Christmas this year coming up, this is what you're dealing with. And First Maccabees, this is a Greek empire. The first empire of the so-called white man. This is what they did. So you understand. And never forget. Verse 59. First Maccabees 1 and 59. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High that they defiled. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women. So you women, when you celebrating Christmas, remember this. They put to death certain women, your ancestors, that had caused their children to be circumcised. This is what they did. And they hang the infants, the babies about their necks. That's what you see on them Christmas trees. Them bulbs, that's what that represents. Come on. Talk to me. And they hanged the infants, the babies about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane, that means make profane the holy covenant, make the holy covenant unholy. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel. You see that? That's your 25th day of the month. That's what they did. Tell you in verse 45, it says, this wicked king Antiochus Epiphanes, this so-called white king, or Edomite king. Verse 41, for the king had sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. You hear that? That profane make him unholy and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. We the people, we the Israelites, set up altars of groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh, pig's flesh. We ain't supposed to touch a dead pig carcass. The Most High told us in Leviticus 11, chapter the 7th and 8th verse. There's more to eat it, but sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. Hear that? That they should also leave their children uncircumcised. So they killed the women on the 25th day of the month of your Christmas. This is what they did. This is what they did to the women, and they hung the babies. They took the babies and they put them on them trees. Like y'all got them bulbs on the trees. And in Target, man, I remember going to Target and I seen the babies' faces on. They had faces on them trees, man. And I'm looking at what it says. I know what it says. I know what they do. And they put it in their face, but you don't know nothing about it. Y'all just take them dang on silhouettes, whatever they got to put it on your trees, man. Faces are all going around it and so forth. It's crazy, man. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law. Isn't that what they tell us now? We're not under the law. That they might forget the law. That's what this is all about, y'all. That's what this deceit is all about. That we might forget the law that the Most High gave to who? Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on. All this is done that you see in this world, it always come back to us. Why? Because they want us to forget the law and change all the ordinances. Listen, whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Put him to death. Straight up. But we deal with this every feast of dedication. And the Mashiach Messiah, he dealt with it too. How about that? And that's a day that we say we gonna honor and getting the victory of our enemies, get our temple back. Going back to the wicked. Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Hear that? Think about that. It say, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. We got to go back to, well, we just read about it in Romans, right? Jacob and Esau. Genesis 25:25. Well, just in case some of you didn't know, we're going to read it the whole from 19 so you know the whole story and we'll deal with it. Genesis 25 and 19. And these are the generation of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. This we just read in Romans 9 chapter. That's why I say you got to know that these post-up preachers are not teaching the truth, because you're not dealing with the Old Testament. That's all they had to go by was the Old Testament. This right here. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Like we just read in Romans 9 chapter. Abraham begot Isaac, right? And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padanaram. So we come from a brother like myself and a Syrian woman, the sister to Laban the Syrian. So we come from the Syrians, that's our mother and a brother. It says, and Isaac retreated the Most High for his wife because she was barren. She didn't have any children. She hadn't got pregnant. The Most High was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. She got pregnant. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? They fighting inside the womb, right? It says, and she went to inquire of the Most High. She went to the seer. That was before the prophet, just like a prophet, but it was called the seer first. And Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people, that's different type of people, shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the other shall serve the younger. So the first baby to come out gonna be a servant to the next baby to come out. And when her day is to be delivered, were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, right? So they're twins, they're brothers. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. So it came out red, all over like a hairy garment, all hairy, real hairy all over his body. And they called his name Esau, right? Remember, the first going to be a servant to the next baby. What did it say? And after that came his brother out. So brother out. So Esau is the brother of this next baby that came out. He's a twin brother. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. They fighting in the womb. He had hold to his heel when he's coming out of the womb. And his name was called Jacob. Let's see this describe Jacob. They don't. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. That score is 20 years old. So 20 years later, he had Esau and Jacob, right? So let you know. You got to know this Bible. That's what it's talking about in Romans, the 9th chapter. We just read about it. Going back to that story. So now here we are in the story again in Psalms 50th chapter, verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Come on. The wicked is Esau. It's telling you sitting and you speaking against your brother, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Hear that? They slandering us. These things hast thou done. Calling us all kind of names. That's why, look, even in the end, look, when salvation come on the end, let me show you something that I know most don't even consider, but I want you to consider this, because let me show you the future, what they're going to say. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such a affliction and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the straightness of his salvation, right? So far beyond all they look for, right? So we're going to say, what they're going to say? And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves. Look what they're going to say. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach, a proverb of disgrace, calling us all kind of names. So what did it say? These things I was done, I have kept silent, Most High said. What did it say? Verse 20, of Psalms 50th chapter. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son, right? Look how they slander us. Look at what they're saying. This is the future. So they doing it from the time that we live in now to the time that salvation come on this earth. That's what they're going to say. It's all here. The past, the present, the future, whatever you want to know, it's all here. That's what they're going to say. They're going to be amazed at the straightness of our salvation, right? They're going to do what they're going to say. In Wisdom of Solomon 5:3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he, whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools account this life madness, and its end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. They screaming it. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. And we know, class, we know what the truth is. Psalm 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, right? It says, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. That's the end, y'all. So you can try and teach them all you want to, this, that, or third, whatever. They say they gonna say point blank, they erred from the way of the laws, statute, commandments of the Most High. Or tell me what religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and looking at the sacrificial laws. 5 sets of laws. Who's doing it? As we are as Israelites. Nobody. They err from the way of truth. And the light of righteousness, which is keeping of the Most High's commandments, we know that. Deuteronomy 6:25, have not shined unto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. He say, we reared ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Come on, you can see it right now. Wickedness and destruction, man. That's why he said. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hated instruction and casting my words behind thee? Look, it's telling you. They're going to say, verse 7, When salvation is coming on this earth, we weird ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. Come on. Can't get no clearer than that. Y'all can follow them if you want to. That's why Most High is telling you. Psalm 50 and 21. These things have thou done. And I kept silent, Most High said. Thou thought that I was altogether such as one as thyself. Come on. You can't get no clearer than this. Y'all thought that I was one just like you. Here it is right here. There it is right there. You can't deny this, making me something different. There it is right there. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. What it say? You seen it. We seen it today in the class. They'll come here talking about he was a so-called white man. I just showed you that's what they believe. He said, these things hast thou done, Psalm 50 and 21, and I kept silent. Most I said, I ain't say nothing. Thou thought that I was altogether such a one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. That's what you see is happening right now. We're being set in order before your eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget the Most High. Any of y'all that forget the Most High, lest I tear you in pieces, he said, and there be none to deliver. Now, you ain't going to fear him? You're not going to fear him? He said, consider this. You that forget the Most High, you that forget the Most High, you ain't going to talk about the Most High, you ain't about him, you about yourself, me, you better understand why it's so important to fear the Most High. He said, I consider this, ye that forget me. That's the Most High. That's what he's talking about right there. Lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. That's why Hebrews 10:31, y'all know what that say, class. I know y'all know that by heart. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. Yahweh. For real, man. You better understand. Don't get it twisted now. It's too many things been twisted. And now y'all all being out of shape, thinking that this man is the Most High or Mashiach Yahushua. They claim to be the children of Israel. It's too much, man. It's too many things that you look at that is in this earth that's so out of order, man. Look. Psalms 35. And we can go on and on and on with this, man. Psalm 35. I did a whole breakdown on this chapter. Plead my cause, O Most High, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for mine help. Draw also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded, confused, and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that divides my hurt. Let them be as chaff. That's the part of the wheat that just thrown away, blown away, disregarded before the wind. And let the angel of the Most High chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery. And let the angel of the Most High to persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in the pit, which without cause have they digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that which very destruction let him fall. For my soul shall be joyful in you, Most High, forever and ever and ever. It shall rejoice in his salvation that we just read about. We just read about. Oh, yeah. Timothy verse 20. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. What do? We do nothing. I mean, they came here, we showed them nothing but love. They didn't know how to survive when they came here. Show them how to survive. And what they do, they killed us. Yeah, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, aha, I have seen it. This thou was seen, O Most High. Most High looking down, man. Keep not silent, O Most High. Be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my power, and my power of powers. Bring it. That's why you gotta look at this for what it is, man. I mean, Most High's bringing it. See, people don't recognize it because they're not in the spirit with him. They don't fear him. They don't talk about him. This is what you fighting against. Ecclesiastes 39:28. There'll be spirits. These are angels. Remember, it said the angel of the Most High, what he said? He let the angel of the Most High chase them. Let the angel of the Most High persecute them. There'll be spirits. These are angels. When you read Psalms 104:4, you make of his spirits angels, his angel spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. There'll be spirits or angels that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. That's the Most High. They're going to appease the wrath of the Most High. What are they? Fire and hell. Fight these angels. That's what you got to fight against. Fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment. You hear that? They're going to be happy to do the will of the Most High's commandment. And they shall be ready upon earth. They're right here where I'm at right now. And they're right there where you at right now. They shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time has come, they shall not, I repeat, they shall not, I'll repeat one more time, they shall not transgress his word. They're going to do exactly what he say to. Psalms 103:20. Psalms 103:20. So there's a payment. There's a payback. Y'all play if you don't play around if you want to. Bless the Most High. Ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments. Hear that? That do his commandments. That's why y'all looking at man, but you got to deal with this. This is real here. Say, bless the Most High, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments. You hear that? Hearkening unto the voice of his word. Remember, they're not going to transgress his word. Bless ye the Most High. All ye his hosts, his angels are called hosts too. Ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. You see that? So the angel going to do what he say do. You ready for them? That's who you got to deal with. The angels. That's why it's very important that, when you got to look at these lies that's been taught, man. You open up the Bible and painted their pictures of Mashiach Yahushai, the Most High, or Mashiach Yahushai. That's deceit. That's lies, man. That's why when you look at Mashiach Yahushai, they also say in Christian sanity that the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushai are the same entity. They're not the same entity. Look at John 1:1. They're not the same. St. John 1:1. See, they lied about everything, pretty much. It's white supremacy. Why not? Knowing that, there's no mercy from the Most High. In the beginning of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, was the Word. And the Word was with the Most High. It's amazing how Christian sanity people take this scripture and they twist it to mean something altogether different. If I read it like it's written, think about this. All that have ears to hear. And if you could see, if you go to John 1:1, look how they wrote it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. So the same was in the beginning with himself. Make that make sense. The same was in the beginning with himself. Help me out. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the same was in the beginning with himself, God. That makes sense? But they'll say, yes, that makes sense to them. It should be, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was a Mashiach Yahushua. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. Mashiach Yahushua was in the beginning with the Most High. You see, I don't lie to say it's this doctrine now that Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High is the Mashiach Yahushua. So let me ask you one question. I'm going to ask you over and over again until you give me an answer, because I asked it a few times. But I've been on the street and they said, the answer was yes. And I asked them, so you're telling me that the so-called white man killed the Most High? And they say, yes. That's how indoctrinated that they've been in really thinking so, I mean, that's the grossest of the grossest darkness. To think this, that the so-called white man killed the Most High. And they say yes. Something wrong with that. But here it is. We in it. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. The all things were made by him in verse 3. And without him was not anything made that was made. Come on. Ephesians 1 and 3. Ephesians 1 and 3. Let's kill that lie right quick. They're not the same, yo. Don't believe that. You have to make this make sense. I mean, when you read the Bible, it has to make sense. You can't just regurgitate something that, even what I'm saying. You got to read these scriptures. Go learn these scriptures, man. Ephesians 1 and 3. Look what it says. Blessed be the power and Father of our power, Mashiach Yahushua. Blessed be the power and Father of our power, Mashiach Yahushua. I mean, how is it that he is the power of Mashiach Yahushua if he is himself the Most High? Blessed be the power and Father of our power, Mashiach Yahushua, because we Mashiach him. We are the anointed, and Mashiach is the Most High, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. You see? First Corinthians 11. 1 Corinthians 11. 11th chapter. They're not the same, man. 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 1. It says, be ye followers, 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. To be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Mashiach. You know that he was Mashiach when you read 1 Corinthians 3:23. And Mashiach is the Most High. That's why Mashiach said in St. John 14 and 6, I am the way to show you how to follow the commandments and the laws, that which is the truth, that's going to lead to everlasting life. You say, no man cometh to the Father but by me. You say, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Mashiach. He understands that he's Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, right? And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Mashiach is the Most High. See that? The Most High, a Mashiach Yahushai, in man and woman, in that order. I'm just showing you that they're not the same. Let's look at Acts, the 13th chapter. I believe. And 24. Acts 13 and 24. Ask the question, who was John the Baptist baptizing? Let's find out. When John, who was John the Baptist, Mashiach's cousin, had first preached before his coming the baptism of repentance to all the people of Israel. You see that? He preached before Mashiach's coming the baptism of repentance to all the people of Israel. How do you get everybody out of that? How do you get everybody out of that? You can't. Go back to John, the first chapter. And let's read verse 22 through 24. It says, John, the first chapter, verse 22. Then said they unto him, talking to John the Baptist, who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that sent us? What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of Hamashiach Yahushai, as said the prophet Isaiah. And they which were sent were of the Pharisees, right? So now, what is he saying? That's why, if he's saying that, what he say? How is it that these preachers that claim to be able to teach this New Testament cannot deal with what he's saying? Because there is no New Testament. It's only the law and the prophets. So he's given an understanding of what the law and the prophets is bringing about in the New Testament. So he said in verse 23, he said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of Mashiach Yahushai, as said the prophet Isaiah. So you got to know where that's at. And that's in Isaiah, the 40th chapter, the 3rd verse. This is what he quoted from. This is what was prophesied to happen. And here he is, right here, saying it just like it's written. That's why I say, how you going to give man this much credit and glory? I'll wait till whatever to see a man. You don't have nothing but the Old Testament to make the New Testament. Or go through the New Testament and make the Old Testament. Make it easier for you. Take the New Testament and precept it to the Old Testament. Because that's what he's quoting right here in Isaiah 40 and 3. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, John the Baptist, prepare ye the way of a Mashiach Yahushua, make straight in the desert a highway for our power. There it is right there. Go to Matthew, the 17th chapter. I mean, there's so many scriptures. I mean, you've been lied to, man. That's one big lie that's really prominent right there. Matthew 17 and 5. This one, Mashiach was transfigured. It says, Matthew 17 and 5, it said, while he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved son. A voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Right? Hear ye him. He said, this is my beloved son. He didn't say that this is me. He didn't say nothing about this is me. He said, this is my beloved son. Let's see. That's why I look at Deuteronomy 18:15 and 18:18. Deuteronomy 18:15. The Most High thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from a midst of thee, of thy brethren. You have to be an Israelite, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. That's what the Most High just said. Did he say, hear ye him? This is my beloved son, hear ye him? Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I shall command him, right? So, perfect example to show you how these preachers are not dealing with this Bible. When you go, I mean, we go into the New Testament, you know, I can go back and forth, but I'm just saying, you're going to see certain things that I'm going to bring out that's it's being said that you have to go back to the law and the prophets to be able to see and understand what they're saying. Let's go to John, the first chapter, the 45th verse. Look, John, the first chapter, 45th verse. We just read it, and you see we reading things, you see it coincide. John the Baptist said he's one that come out of the wilderness, bring forth, you know, to bring the way for Messiah to come, right? Same thing we read. Here it is right here. Paraphrase, say John 1 and 45. Philip findeth Nathanael and said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law. Now, y'all got to deal with that. Where's the law at? The first 5 books of the Bible, right? What did he say? We have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write. Mashiach Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. That's another chapter. The son of Joseph. Now, that's what the apostle said. Philip said, the son of Joseph. You hear what he said, though? We have found him of whom Moses in the law, we just read it, in the law, Deuteronomy 18, 15, and 18, those verses. We have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Mashiach Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. That's another lie they said, they brought out. Now, Matthew, let's see, this old school. 17:5 again. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud, which is a chariot, overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved son. This is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. You know what's so crazy? Look at John 3:16. Y'all know that. I mean, the Christian Sunday people, y'all know that scripture by heart. And think about what it says. Think about what it really says. I mean, he said, this is my beloved son. Hear ye him, right? Look what John 3:16 says. For the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Come on. That he gave his only begotten son. That he gave his only begotten son. How can he be the Most High if he's the only begotten son of the Most High? You know, I mean, it makes no, I don't know, it's like, say whatever. Remember, they deceive all the nations through their sorceries, witchcrafts. What y'all think? Because it say for the Most High, you know, I don't use that word G-O-D because that's a Germanic word that the Europeans created. And you spell it backwards as dog, and we call them dog, and they took the word dog and spelled it backwards, came up with God. And here it is, right here. Everybody's saying it. You still calling on them. regardless, frontward, backwards, whatever. It's still, you still call it on them. For the Most High so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten son. Come on, don't y'all see that? Only begotten son. Only begotten son. He's the only begotten son. That's an angel. Now, as he was an angel in the beginning, that's why you look at, he was in the beginning with the Most High, created all things by Mashiach that was said, look, y'all got to see this. Hopefully you will. Hopefully it won't go past, where he says only begotten son. Look at Hebrews 1 and 5. Are y'all with me? Are y'all still here? I mean, I see people coming and coming and coming and coming and going. Y'all steadfast here. But over here, can y'all still hear me online? Can I get a 1 or a con if you can hear me on YouTube? Anyway, for those that can't hear, Hebrews, the first chapter, and verse 5, it says, being made, what's 4? Being made so much better than the angels. This is much like the other side, as he have by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. Much like the side obtained a more excellent name than the angels, right? For unto which of the angels, I'm waiting on somebody to answer this, because y'all be talking about the angels came down, had sex with women, and created these giants and all that stuff, man, from the book of Enoch and this, that, and the third. Name those angels. For unto which of the angels said he said at any time, Salakia, thou art my son. What angel? Then the Most High said, thou art my son. Before the Most High, tell the Most High, you named this angel the water. It said, you named this angel your son. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, thou art my son? This day have I begotten thee. What angel? And again, I'll be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. So the Most High you gotta go before the throne of the Most High and say, the Most High, you said that this angel that's in the book of Enoch, you said that he was your son, and you told him you were his father. Which angel? And again, when he bring it in the first begotten into the world, he said, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him, right? Because a lot of y'all, in these Christian Saturday doctrines, they be saying, is Jesus God, right? Listen, and all the angels, he said, who make his angel spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. We quoted that earlier in Psalms 104 and 4. But unto the Son, this is Mashiach Yahushua, how can he be the Most High? But unto the Son, who's the he? What did he say? I said. No, he said, but unto the Son. That's what Mashiach Yahushua. He says, thy throne, that's power from authority, oh God. You see, that's right there. He called him God, called him the power. But he ain't the Most High power. But unto the Son, he said that he is the Most High said. Thy throne, O God, O power, is forever and ever. A scepter that's power from the authority of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. This is what it says. Thou lovest righteousness and hateth iniquity. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do the Most High have a power over him? Do the Most High have a power that's over him? Because it says here, y'all want to say the Most High is the Mashiach Yahushua, or Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. Y'all ain't answering no questions, though, when we come to break down these scriptures. Thou have loved righteousness, verse 6 of Hebrews, the first chapter. Thou have loved righteousness, love the laws of the commandments of the Most High, doing them, and hated iniquity, hated not doing the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. Say, therefore, God, even thy God, even your God. So the Most High got a God? Or is that a Mashiach Yahushua talking about the Most High as his power? That's two gods right there. You got to break that down. Therefore, God, even thy God. Therefore, Most High, even your Most High, even your power. Huh? Therefore, Most High, there's a power in the Most High. Even Mashiach, even thy power, even your power. See, these things, you're stuck. How you going to make them the same with that? Therefore, God, even thy God. Therefore, Hamashiach Yahushai, who is called the power right here, even thy power, who is the Most High, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. That's what it's telling you. But see, if you don't know, like I said, y'all don't know the Old Testament, therefore, that's why you'd be caught up in Christian insanity. That's why I call it insanity, because you have to know, like I'm saying, they're quoting from the law and the prophets. That's what they had to go by. No more, no less, man. And if you don't know that, then you just stuck. Stuck. Look, Psalms, man, 45. And it's heartfelt because, you know, you don't want our people, I don't want our people to be lost and caught up in all this sorcery that they have on this earth right now. Witchcrafts and psychics and witches and warlocks, whatever you want to call it, man, that going doing their spells, man. People like this woman came up to the camp, she said people got spells on them. That's real, man. Almost I have a donkey talk. People come up and say a lot of things, man. Like the white man camp was studying how, what's that showed me how God was created by, it's a Germanic word, created by the Europeans in the 5th century AD. I was studying that hard. This Edomite came up to me and said, straight up, we created that word God. You know, we created that word God. Just like that. Validating everything that's being told, man. Listen at this. Psalm 45 and 6. See if this sounds familiar. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter, power, and authority of thy kingdom is a right scepter. Sound familiar? Thou lovest righteousness and hateth wickedness, which is iniquity. Therefore, God, thy God. God asks, the Most I have a power over him? No. But the Mashiach is called God or the power. That's all I mean. Allow power. Your power. Therefore, Mashiach Yahushua, as God, as the power, thy power, your power, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. So when you understand how this operates spiritually, when you go to Proverbs, been lied to, man. Proverbs 30. In verse 4. Sing unto the Most High, O ye saints of his, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. I'm in Psalm, Salakia, but we can't do that. Salakia. Proverbs 30 and 4. I know it sounds strange, but it sounds good, though, you know. I love it. Proverbs 30 and 4. Whoever ascended up into heaven or descended? Who went up into heaven and who descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fists? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou can tell? What is his name and what is his son's name, if thou can tell? Oh, y'all can go to Exodus 4:22, huh? That's talking about the Mashiach Yahushua. But it tells you here in Exodus 4:22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus say the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So Mashiach Yahushua is the son of the Most High, and we the sons of the Most High. And you become the sons of the Most High. Let me show you. Mashiach Yahushua, they made it pretty clear in John, the 1st chapter. We've been there a lot today, huh? John, the 1st chapter, and verse 10. That's what the Christian Sanity people give the people to believe in and they don't go no further. We're gonna go further. They always say you read out of context, right? But this one they don't say that. But if you continue to read, you get understanding. And John the first chapter 11th verse, they always say he came into his own, and his own received him not. You hear them repeat that, right? So they program to say that. Therefore, it's like he came to his own received him not. That's why they say the Jews killed him on Shai, right? That's why they want to be a Jew or an Israelite. You understand what I'm saying? Because they use that scripture. They say he came into his own, and his own received him not, right? But they don't keep reading. It says, but as many as received him. See that? So some of us then, now and forever, gonna receive him. To them gave he power, that spiritual power, to become what? The sons of the Most High. How? Even to them that believe on Bashama Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That's how we reach the Most High. So you ask anything in my name, I would do it, and the Father will be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I would do it. He said, you love me, keep my commandments, do what I say do. See that? So we became the sons of the Most High, just like we are GODs too. Y'all know about that? Psalm 82 and 6. So I have said, ye are gods. We little G's, you know? I have said, ye are gods. So like I said, God, even thy God, we are gods. And all of you are children of the Most High, he said. That ye shall die like men. Ain't nobody crying about this. Nobody really complained about this, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O Most High, judge the earth, but thou shalt inherit all nations. That's right. You shall inherit all nations. That's our power. So Colossians 1:15, Most High and the Mashiach, that's a lie. The Most High and the Mashiach are the same. They're not the same. Colossians 1:15. That's what we're looking at. We're destroying that. Colossians 1:15. Who is the image of the invisible power? The firstborn of every creature, right? Who is the image of the invisible power? Meaning you have the characteristics of the Most High. Like he said, what I see the Father do, that's what I do. What I hear the word of the Most High, so the Most High have a voice, so from a voice come words, so he's the word of the Most High, right? And that's what his name gonna be called when he come back to judge and make war. His name gonna be called the word of the Most High. Who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. For by him, Mashiach Yahushai, were all things created. Most High created a Mashiach Yahushai, the firstborn of every creature, and Mashiach Yahushai created everything else through the power of the Most High. That's what it's saying. For by him were all things created that are in heaven. Listen, he created everything in heaven and that are in earth, visible, the things you can see with your eyes, and invisible, the things that you can't see. So there are things that are visible and invisible that you can see. The things that you can't see. And I've experienced all of this, visible and invisible. Things from another world or wherever they're from, I don't know. But I know that he created things visible and invisible. And the cameras, those cameras could catch a lot of things that our naked eye can't see. I remember I was sitting in class, I have a picture of it, and something flew across my face like this. Shoo. And I seen it go by, it was so fast, it went by so fast, the naked eye couldn't see it, but the camera caught it, and I froze it right there. It's on one of my videos on my YouTube page. You'll see it. Anybody want to see it, I can show you. Bam, it was right there. You know, went right across. And I'm sitting up there teaching. Next thing you know, the chairs start falling down, just start tumbling down. You don't see nobody. The chairs just start falling down. Class kept going. Didn't stop, because you hear what it said here. That's why I said you understand this, and that's why a lot of people, man, y'all gonna die of fear. Y'all gonna die of fear. You don't understand what this Bible is talking about, man. Y'all gonna be taken out of here, man. 2 Timothy 1:7, it said, for the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear. For the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. When you see power, that's spiritual power. If you're in line with him. But how you gonna be in line with him? You ain't never talk about him. You ain't about him. You just go to him for whatever you want and give me what I want. And then it so be it. AMEN. He supposed to be working for you. He ain't working for y'all. A lot of y'all praying to yourself. The Bible says. And if you ain't really talk about it in these last days, all the things, and you don't see what he's doing. Shoot, Russia just had an earthquake, 8.8. They had an earthquake like that in how many years? Not in my lifetime, I remember. Yours? Come on. He said earthquakes in diverse places. And that place where that earthquake hit, it was like a Hebrew name. You know, we ruled Russia until about 1861. It was like I wrote it down. It started with a K, but the name of the place, it was like a Hebrew name. Start with a K. It was like with the CH, all that. I mean, I don't know where I wrote it down at. It's a lot there, but look at that name of where that earthquake hit. Man, y'all better recognize. That's powerful, man. That's the Most High. What he say, for the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. That's spiritual power, and of love, and of a sound mind. You see that? That love is the keeping of the Most High's commandments. 2 John 6, man. And that love is how he loved you when you love what he told us to do and you do what he say do. That's how you get the love of the Most High. Man gotta be in order, women gotta be in order, and children gotta be in order. 2 John 6, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is a commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning, is that ye should walk in it. That's that love, y'all, that he's talking about. 2 Timothy 1:6. Gotta understand, man, this is real. Don't look, verse 7, I mean. For the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love. He gives us the commandments. And he gives that love. Once you do what he say do, he gonna give you that love. And of a sound mind. He's gonna make your mind be sharp, man. You're not gonna be weak in the mind. Be all right. But you see here, Colossians 1:15. And there's something here too, you know, that they have done in having you follow along with their program without, I mean, I'm gonna show you something. I've seen brothers read this and it just went right over their head. I'm like, but you're so scholarly, but then spiritually, they missed it. You see, it says, verse 16, Colossians 1:16, for by him, that's a Mashiach Yahushua, were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him, right? And he is before all things, right? He is before anything that was created. By him, all things consist, you see? He's before everything was created. And then the Most High used him, Mashiach Yahushua, as the top angel of the Most High. We read in Hebrews 1:5. Which one of the angels have he called us? He said, I'm your father and you're my son. Which one? Anybody answered yet? I'm waiting on the answer. He asked that question. You know, angel who? Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, whatever names y'all got in the book of Enoch. I ain't even naming them, you know. But tell me that they are called the sons of the Most High. Those angels. He said all the angels got to worship Mashiach Yahushua. All things were created by him and for him. Verse 15, I want to key on this. It says of Colossians, the first chapter, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature, right? Now let's look. That means that he would have to be The very firstborn, right? The beginning of the creation of the Most High. Wouldn't you say that? Would you agree with that? Yeah, please like or dislike or share and subscribe. Con. Look at this. Revelation 3:14. Revelation 3:14. Think about this. Because these are the words of Mashiach Yahushai. And you gotta allow yourself to hear what's being said here, since it told you that in verse 15 of Colossians, the first chapter, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature, right? The firstborn of every creature. So he the first before anything, right? But listen to what it says here in Revelation 3:14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things said the Amen. These are words of a Mashiach Yahushua, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. You hear that? Amen is the beginning of the creation of the Most High. What y'all think? You think Mashiach Yahushua would tell you to give him all praise and glory and honor at the end of a prayer that you praying to the Most High? When he told us in Matthew 6:9, after this matter, pray ye our Father, which art in heaven. They asked him how should they pray. He's not in heaven. He's right on the earth saying that in Matthew 6:9. After this matter, pray ye our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be our Father prayer, right? Our Father, which art in heaven. How can you say just pray to me? You ain't got to pray. You ain't got to look up into heaven. You got to pray to heaven. Just pray to me. I'm here with you. Think about that. I mean, it's so ignorant when you think about all the ways, and we can go into this to show you that you've been lied to think that a Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High, and the Most High is a Mashiach Yahushua. You've been lied to, straight up. No and ifs or buts about it. But listen, it says, and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, right? These things said the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. Come on. The faithful and true witness. Look, Mashiach Yahushua is faithful and true. He come back and judge and make war. Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open. John the Raider seeing a vision, seeing the heaven open, and behold, a white horse, that's righteous power. And he that sat upon it was called faithful and true. That's Mashiach Yahushua, or is that Amen? And in righteousness, he does judge and make war. Huh? So y'all think in y'all wildest dreams that Mashiach Yahushua would tell you or anyone to give him all homage that you done pray to the Most High. You done said Basham Mashiach or Basham Yahushua Mashiach in your prayer, and then you're gonna give him more homage as Amen? Huh? Understand this goes back, they inserted that in there, and it goes back to the Egyptian god, Amenra. That's their top god. Goes back to, most people are asked, do you know that Zeus had a last name, and what is it? They can't tell you, because these are mysteries up in here to the Most High that's coming out in these last days. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, you got to understand, man. That's why Hosea 5:15 says, Most High said, I'm going to go to my place till we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. But see, nobody thinking about how they offended the Most High. Everybody too caught into their own feelings and they pride and all this stuff, man. You better understand, Most High don't care nothing about all that. You want to say, faithful and true witness, beginning of the creation of the Most High. Amen. That's a lie. Zeus, excuse Salaki Most High. So the reason why we're not supposed to be saying the names of these gods, man. But Zeus, that's his last name. Alexander the Greek, when he came into power, before he left out of existence from 20 years old to 32 years old, within that period of time, He came up with Zeusamen. So when you end your prayer with Amen, just look it up for yourself. That's what you giving homage to. You didn't exclude the Most High. Why my prayers not coming through? Because you calling on the Greek God Zeus. That's his last name. He put that with him. Took the RA off and it's Zeusamen. I don't care if you say it in any language in this world, it's still the same thing. That's who you giving homage to. You see what it say? Faithful and true. Mashiach Abishai, Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, righteous power, and he that sat upon it was called faithful and true. Just like he said, Amen was faithful and true witness, right? Faith, Mashiach Abishai called faithful and true. And in righteousness, he does judge and make war. He gonna come and judge this world concerning the laws of the Most High that y'all say that we not under. That's how he come to judge this world. What you gotta say about that? You've been lied to, man. And y'all sit up here gonna justify saying Amen at the end of your prayer, man. Y'all gotta stop. In Exodus 23:13 is, well, I asked the Most High to forgive me for even saying Zeus name. But some of you will say that it's irrelevant because you're partial to the law. Look, Exodus 23:13, it says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. You better be cautious. You better pay attention. He said, and make no mention of the name of other gods. Those are idols of the other nations and those that Israel created. Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. You see? Joshua 23:7. Joshua, the one that led us into the promised land. Joshua and Caleb, the only ones. Y'all understand? Do y'all understand? Most I killed. We had 600,000 soldiers, men that came out of Egyptian captivity, y'all. Most I killed 599,098. 599,000 and 98,000 and 99,000. You only got two people. So what's that? 599,998. Okay. Think about that. He killed everybody. Killed everybody and let the children go into the promised land. That's something, y'all. Y'all better look at this. Because we trying to make it to the promised land now. He told Moses, because he didn't give him the credit for hitting that rock, for speaking to the rock, excuse me, not hitting the rock, because he hit the rock, he told him to speak to him. He allowed him to go to the promised land. That's why y'all can take this lightly if you want to. Y'all take the most, y'all partial to the Most High's law. He gonna be partial to y'all when he throw your butt in the lake of fire. That's why my child say, you always say gonna be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But people take this, y'all take this not serious, man. Spiritually, I'm saying. Joshua 23:7. Joshua 23:7. It's very important that ye come not among these nations, and we among these nations, scattered among these nations, we as the Israelites, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods. I'm telling y'all, look it up for yourself. Zeus, last name is Amen. That's who y'all calling on when you end up saying your prayers. Make mention. It said, neither make mention of the name of their gods, their idols, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them. And when you bowing down on your knees, you bowing down to Zeus. I don't care how you look at it. When you say Amen at the end of your prayer, Ahman, or whatever language you saying it in, and you bowing down, you on your knees praying, and you say that, you send it to Zeus. You send it to Amenra. I can't make it no clear, y'all. And then you got to notice, say, it means so be it. Heard what I said. Think about it, man. That's offensive. In these last days, maybe you never heard this before, but the Spirit of the Most High is bringing that to you. He's bringing it to you, man. Sad that our people don't, you know, we don't want to change. We don't like change. We like to remain the same. That's why he call y'all the walking dead, man, the dead Israelites, man. But you're gonna learn one way or another. Hopefully it won't be too late. That's what I pray, that our people wake up and don't be too late. Look, see, that's and that's you understand, like, remember, they have to bring about these lies. If they lied about saying that they the Most High, ain't nobody apologize for this. Who apologized for this? They say in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Who apologized for this? Nobody. Nobody. So if they say they the Most High, what they won't do? If they say they're the Most High, what will they not do? That's what I want to know. Tell me something that they won't do. When the Most High said he made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. What they won't do? They'll do anything. And y'all sit up and thinking that they won't. They righteous. They just as pure and righteous as everybody else. They're not. They'll let you know, man. I mean, all you do is look at the track record. Take a rocket science to figure this out. And 2/3 of our people, right? I mean, wicked than them. We more wicked than them. I'll say our ways compares the ways of the wicked. We put flavor to wickedness. Colossians 3:1. Colossians 3:1. Everybody been lied to. Just like I said, that dub, he started something with me. So now here we are in it. But it's still going with the same, topic that I'm dealing with, deception and lies from the Bible, man. Colossians 3:1. If ye then be risen with a Mashiach Yahushua, seek those things which are above, where Mashiach Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of himself. Where Mashiach Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of himself. For you that believe that the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua are the same. No, he sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Make that make sense? I mean, it's pretty pathetic, man. When you really think about it, something wrong with this picture, man. Look at go to Genesis. Let me show you some people in the Bible. Genesis, the 12th chapter. Can I still be heard online? Y'all all right? Genesis. Look, let me show you something. Let me show you a few deception that went on with people in the Bible. So that's the topic. We're going to Genesis 12th chapter. Concerning our forefather Abraham. And there was a famine in the land. This is verse 10. Okay. Genesis 12:10. And there was a famine in the land, I mean the food shortage. And Abraham went down into Egypt to sojourn there. For the famine was grievous in the land, right? And it came to pass when he was come near to enter into Egypt that he said unto Sarah, his wife, behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. He told Sarah, man, I know you beautiful. He said, Sarah, I know you're a beautiful woman to look upon, right? That's why I say we got the most beautiful women in the world, man. Therefore, it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, right? And they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. So here go the lie. Here go the deception. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. See? So what do? He told her, hey, you got to tell her, you my sister, that they don't kill me. And they're going to have her as they would. It came to pass that when Abraham was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld a woman that she was very fair. Sarah must have been banging. They looked at her like Judah. When they see Judah, they said, what nation have a woman like this? See that? The Egyptian beheld the woman that she was very fair, beautiful. The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abraham well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen in his eye, and he asses and men servants and maid servants, and she asses and camels. And the Most High plagued Pharaoh in his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. He started plaguing them. Oh, yeah. Because remember, Sarah and Abraham had to produce who? Y'all forgot? The earlier, all you that's been in the class, we went through it, the covenant. We went through it if I was dealing with Esau and Jacob. Remember? She got to have Isaac. It's already planned. So he plagued Pharaoh's household. And Pharaoh called Abraham and said, what is it that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou, she is my sister, so I might have taken her to wife? Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his wife and all that he had. All praise to Most High. Genesis the 20th chapter. And start at verse 1. And Abram journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. Again, and Amalek, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But the Most High came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man. He said, you a dead man, Abimelech, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech, had not come near her. He had not tried to, lay down with her. And he said, Most High, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, she is my sister. And she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the innocency of my hands have I done this. And the Most High said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thine heart. For I also withheld thee from sinning against me. You know what he said? Said, that's the Most High, also withheld you, Abimelech, from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Wow. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine. Therefore Abimelech arose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears. And the men were sore afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought surely the fear of the Most High is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. Dang. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is my daughter. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. See that? So she's the daughter of Abraham's father, but she's not the daughter of Abraham's mother. And she became my wife. And it came to pass when the Most High caused me to wander from my father's house that I said unto her, this is thy kindness, which thou shalt show unto me at every place whither we shall come. Say of me, he is my brother. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants and gave them unto Abram and restored him Sarah his wife. See, Abraham being made rich for him. Genesis, the 26th chapter. This is pertaining to our forefather Isaac and Rebekah. This is 26th chapter. And there, verse 1, and there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham, right? Another famine. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Most High appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear to Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thee and to thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. They blessed because we the Israelites, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister. Sound familiar? Sound like the same thing, the same words that his father Isaac had said, right? Same thing. Same words. Just a moment. Like father, like son, huh? You playing that same role. He said, verse 7, and the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, she is my sister. For we feared to say she is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. Beautiful. Sarah was beautiful. And Rebekah was beautiful. She was a beautiful woman. And it came to pass when he had been there a long time that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at a window. He looked out the window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah, his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife. He sent them out there playing together. You know, he messing with her. to the point he had to be doing something that what didn't seem like sister and brother or brother and sister, right? He said, sporting with Rebecca, his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how sayest thou, she is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, because I said, lest I die for her. Abimelech said, what is this thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lain with thy wife, laid with your wife, man. And thou shouldst have brought guiltiness upon us. That's something, man. They was even looking at, a different world, man. You know what I mean? As far as them looking at, as far as a man, being with another man's wife, these are heathen nations. And they still had that mindset that it was wrong. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, he that touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sold in that land and received in the same year 100-fold. And the Most High blessed him. See? And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. See, for he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants, and the Philistine envied him. See that? They envied him. Here go another lie. Genesis 27. This is when Isaac was old, getting ready to bless the firstborn son Esau. But remember the prophecy, the first one shall be a servant to the next baby. That was Esau came out first. And Jacob was supposed to get the blessing, but it said, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. So I don't know when I'm going to die. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. See, like that deer meat. He said, hey, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So you ready to bless Esau. But remember, if you don't know, you will know once you see what Esau did. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for the venison and to bring it back to Isaac as he had asked him. Say, I'm old, I don't know when I'm gonna die. I want some of that venison that you make, man. But Rebekah heard him telling him that, right? And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat that I may eat and bless thee before the Most High, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats. Now y'all gotta look at this scenario, because remember Genesis 25 says for a sec, Esau came out red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. So she's telling Jacob to go fetch her 2 kids of the goats, 2 goats, right? And I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth, right? So I'm gonna make him savory meat like he like it. He loves it, really. But the point of the matter is, he said, go get 2 kids of the goats, right? And she gonna make this meat like, she know how Isaac love it, because she know she's his wife. She know how he like it. So I'm gonna make it just the way he like it. Trust me, he gonna love it. But so that kind of like, So I don't know if anybody had any deer meat or not, but it must. Was he gonna hook it up? You know, because I know he ain't going out there to try and look for a wild goat. You know, I always thought that venison was deer, but he told me to go get 2 kids of the goats. And you're gonna make that savory meat for thy father, such as he loves. It must taste a lot like goat. To say, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, listen what he said. Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. You see, Esau's real hairy all over. Like, see how we kind of smooth. They got hair all on their everywhere, hair all on their neck, all around there. I mean, you look everywhere, they got hair this way, all going everywhere, man. He said, Esau, my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. So you see, so if you continue to read the story, uh, Jacob. Well, let's look. So I mean, um, my father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver. That's what we talking about, right? Deceiving the people. You say gonna seem to him a deceiver, but you got to realize, remember what the prophet told Rebecca in Isaac, that the first baby gonna serve the next baby. So it has to go down the way the Most High says it's gonna go down. Period. How he does it, don't question it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Don't question the Most High. His ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. His mother said to him, "Upon me be thy curse." Hear that? That's strong. That's strong talk. That woman is strong. She said, "Upon me be thy curse, your curse. My son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them." And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of his eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. So she took Esau's clothes and put them upon Jacob. Listen, as this is key here, as he put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands. Come on now. How hairy was Esau? They like to call us monkeys. Come on, man. She took the hair of the goat and put that goat's hair on his hands. You know what it said? And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck, all around here. Hair. He have on Esau's garment, but she taking his hair and putting it all on his hands. The hair on his hands. It didn't say wrist, it said hands. Y'all hearing this? And Rebecca, and she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which he had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he went into his father, Isaac, and pretended like he was Esau, right? So he deceived Isaac. But when you look at the story, because a lot of you Christian Saturday people, y'all try and put your little twist in it. But what happened? What really happened with Esau and Jacob? What really happened when you think about it? Because go to Genesis 25th chapter again, and we're gonna look at what happened so that you understand. Verse 27. And the boys grew. This is 25, 27. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, man of the world. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents, chilling. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. Like we just read, before he died, he said he wanted to taste some of that venison that Esau made. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Listen, and Jacob side pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Come from the field hunting, and he's faint, right? hungry. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. So the pottage that he's making is red. For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, which means red. And Jacob says, sell me this day thy birthright. Because the first baby gets the birthright, right? Esau was the first baby. So Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright, your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? You hear that, preachers? You hear that? Those that teach that Jacob stole the birthright? This is what Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and potted some lentils. The lentils, but it had lentils not red. It's like this red pottage, right? In verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, just with that same red pottage, right? What is that? Let's go to Hebrews 12:16. Find out what it is, what that is. It said, lest there be any fornicator, first and foremost, or profane person, unholy person, that's Esau, who for one morsel of what? Meat. It didn't say lentil, it say one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So that's red meat that he sold his birthright for. How do they like their meat? How do the Europeans like their meat? Cooked rare or cooked well done? I mean, this right there, red meat. That's what he sold his birthright. But you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. We found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. See, this is what you're dealing with, man. He sold his birthright for some red meat. And they like to meat rare. Clear example of how they are and dealing how they make this Bible be real. It's real, y'all. You can't deny that. You can ask them. I ask them all the time throughout the years, how you like your meat? They say rare. That's how he ate it from the beginning. That's why his name is called Edom, red. Let me show you this. This is one of the last ones I'm gonna do. I have a lot of few of them. I'm gonna bring this one right here. This is King David. Go to 1 Samuel, 21st chapter. It's a real powerful Israelite move, I might say. Guy quite move. You know, David was running from Saul, our first king, Saul the Benjamite. He was king of Israel. He was running from, but Saul wanted to kill him. He was jealous of David. He wanted to kill him. Check this out. So we're going to look at 1 Samuel 21. So David, let's see, we'll start at verse 8. It said, and David said unto Ahimelech, and is there not here under thine hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. He wanted to kill him, so he had to get out of there real fast, right away from King Saul. He said, right? And the priest said, the sword of Goliath, the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it. But there was no other save that here. So the only sword they have is Goliath's sword. You know, Goliath was a giant. And David said, there was none like that. Give it me. Show you how big David was and how strong he was to take Goliath's sword, right? And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul and went to Achish, the king of Gath. So he went to Achish, to the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in the dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000? And David laid up these words in his heart. David thought about them, said, hey, they recognizing me. Now, what can you understand this? King David was going out at night. Everybody see he was going out killing the enemies, getting them ready to be subjected to Israel. That's why King Solomon had his son had peace for 40 years. So David heard him say that, hey, that's him right there. You know, the ones that women were singing, Saul killed 1,000, David killed tens of thousands. Killed tens of thousands. That's why he couldn't build a temple. He had too much blood on his hand, right? And David laid up these words in his heart, verse 12, and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. Listen, and he changed his behavior before them. See that? He changed his behavior before them and feigned himself mad in his hands and grappled on the doors of the gate and let his spit fall down upon his beard. He had a beard, y'all. So he was spitting out of his mouth. He's grabbing him, started acting like he was a lunatic, just started going crazy. Spitting out of his mouth, spit coming all out of his beard and everything. He was afraid of him. Like he said, epilepsy fit or something, just going crazy, just lost his mind, right? And he changed his behavior before them and feigned himself mad in their hands. And grab on the doors of the gate and let a spittle fall down upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his servants, lo, you see the man is mad? Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of a madman? Have I need of this madman? That ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Call this fellow, come on into my house. Call this fellow, come into my house. See, you played the role. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him. See, he played that role, man. You would have said that David laid up these words in his heart. What he said, the servants of his ships said to him, is not this David king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in the dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? Well, he was going out at night, killing everybody, putting everybody in subjection to Israel. David laid up these words in his heart, in his mind, and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them. Changed it up, y'all. Say, well, he did. He definitely said, this can't be no king. He changed his behavior back before them and feigned himself mad in their hands and grabbed on the doors of the gate and let a spittle fall down upon his beard. He then said, Achish unto his servant, oh, you see the man is mad? Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of a madman? that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? So this fellow come into my house? Say, you got away with it. He played that role. That's why it depends on where you're at, in mind, spirit, or soul. He sure played that role right there. And you look at King David's very special. Very, very special man. Hmm. Because the Mashal Shai came out of the loins of King David. Um, Look at verse 22 of Acts the 13th chapter. It says, and when he had removed him, which is Saul, our first king, he raised up unto them, who was the Israelites, we the Israelites, David to be king, to be their king, to be our king. King David, we just read about him. To whom also he gave testimony and said, the Most High said, what? I have found David, same one we just read about, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, after mine own mind, which shall fulfill all my will. Hear that? He found King David, a man after his own mind, which has fulfilled all his will. Of this man's seed, which is copulation of sperm, have the Most High, according to his promise, raised unto Israel a savior, who Hamashiach Yahushua. See, coming out of the seed of David, King David. Same one just played that role as a madman and got away from the enemy. Yep. So I'm going to continue this. What time is it? I can continue, but I'm going to go some little bit more. Let's go into some more. Go to how what I want to deal with. I'm gonna deal more on how we've been destroyed in these religions and so forth. It's very important because we have, these people that are over us, not necessarily myself as being, an elder, but, and I never, I'll praise the Most High, never was caught up in the doctrine of these religions to the point where I can say I was like led astray. So it's easy for me to be touched by the spirit because I didn't have much to be able to negate except for just my own life at hand coming in. I didn't have much of, I read the Bible for what it says and not necessarily being programmed by any religion, you know. Proverbs, I'm gonna do 11 and 18. The wicked work a deceitful work. You see, the wicked is always working a deceitful work. And if you don't really realize lies in how you've been programmed to believe something that is a lie, you don't recognize it, you don't do your research, because people will discredit us very fast, but all they do is regurgitate what somebody said. And I'll hand you the Bible and say, okay, well, talk to me from what it says in the Bible. And all of a sudden now there's silence, or they just want to just run their mouth. But you got to be able to prove what, however you feel and what are you dealing with in this Bible. If you don't know, you need to really think about that, because you could be in sin, and as you know, people have been dealt with after the fact, but they thought, that their feelings or whatever they were dealing with, emotions and lust or whatever, that they want to, feel in their pride, there's a result of the judgment that happens after the fact. But people be into their own feelings, next thing you know, that's Satan. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to follow, he want to say, follow your heart, And those that work for Satan feel the same way. Here he come, and have you do the things that you do, next thing you know, you justifying the devil, you justifying Satan, you justifying the beast, and all the qualities of the devil and Satan and all the things that they deal with, that they operate. with that great multitude of sorceries that's on this earth. You understand? And that's what we got to fight against. That's why I say the wicked work of deceitful works. They work in deceitful works. I told you in Revelation 18 and 23 how they have deceived all the nations through their sorceries. But you don't really look at it like that because you don't really think outside the box of being righteous in your ways, your feelings. Ain't about no feelings. Most likely kill us about our feelings. He said he had no respect to person. He got respect to Israel. He gonna say that remnant of us that he's working to make perfect. Everybody ain't being made to be perfect. Some people, he said, that's why he said in 2 Ezra 9:22, he said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. He said, let my grape, that's a grape, and my plant, that's a plant. Be kept, for with great labor have I made it perfect. You got to see this, man. This is not for everyone. That's why it's very important to look at the things that are spiritual more so than just learning some precepts, and you're not really looking at those things that are visible, invisible, and the things that's going to happen on this earth, that's prophesied going to happen on this earth, and we offended the Most High. I don't know. All I know is this. Unless you could tell me something different. He said, I'm going to my place in Hosea 5:15 until we acknowledge our offense. If you ain't thinking about every way, shape, or form that you and all of us have offended him as individuals, as a nation, then you ain't making it to the kingdom. That's guaranteed. He said, and seek his face. How you gonna look at us? How you looking at us now? Did y'all see what's going on the earth? He said, thou should be visited of the Most High. That's him. But earthquakes, that's the Most High. Volcano eruption, that's the Most High. Tidal waves, that's the Most High. Hurricanes, that's the Most High. Coming to the direction that the slave trade went, that's the Most High. Every year, how come happen every year? This ain't nothing new. Fires, that's the Most High. Teeth of wild beasts, that's the Most High. You name it. Hell, that's the Most High. Floods, that's the Most High, y'all. I see that water flowing like I've never seen floods happen before. Fast. I mean, it's fast, man. We say the wicked work of a deceitful work. That's why he's visiting this earth, man. But to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. You try and do what the Most High say, follow his commandments. His commandments are not grievous. You know, it's just, are you willing to be able to adjust your mind, spirit, and soul so that you can change? Because if you follow the way this world have it set up, they want you to go to damnation with them. This isn't something that's so overwhelming. You're going to gather yourself to them and you're going to the kingdom. No, they don't want that. They say as righteousness tendeth to life, you hear that? Righteousness, I got to get that because it's been come out a few times. I just said it. Go to Deuteronomy 6:25 because my regular class, y'all know what it means. But Deuteronomy 6:25 defines righteousness for those that didn't know. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, ours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership as he hath commanded us. You see, the commandments represent righteousness, doing his commandments. But they're not teaching the commandments. He says, and you can go on my YouTube page and going over the laws. I'm going over the laws. Just type in going over the laws, Priest Awam, THAAHWAM, and type in going over the laws. You can go over the laws, you know, and then you'll start seeing all the different laws, you know, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that I've went over for you to go over and review. So going back to Proverbs 11 and 19, as righteousness tendeth to life, you keep the laws of the Most High. That's why Mashiach Shai said in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the light. He don't cancel out the commandments and the laws of the Most High. He said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth by being an example. And the truth is what? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So he the way to show us how to follow the laws of the Most High. That's going to lead to everlasting life. That's why it says, Proverbs 11:19. Like I said, when you read the Bible, you have to make it make sense. Now, some few things I'm showing you that they put in here, a few scriptures they took out. So they took out scriptures, they put things in here. It's only a few things, and those things like LORD means what? BAAL. But you that's coming in, maybe you never seen that before. Let me show you that. This is from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. You see that? BAAL means what? LORD. And they put it in here so you be calling on BAAL. And you'll be calling on their power. So all of this is geared so that we would not be able to, not offend the Most High. And when y'all understand that, then maybe you'll become more spiritual. All this is set up so we would not, we would offend the Most High. I'm here to show you so you won't be offended the Most High. Certain things that have been done to have us offend the Most High, because they say, I'm going to go to my place and we acknowledge our offense. So once you acknowledge your offense, then you can seek his face, because he turned his face away from us because we did not keep his commandments as the Israelites, right? This is what we up against. So it says, once again, Proverbs 11:19, as righteousness tenders to life. So when you follow the commandments of the Most High, you can receive everlasting life. So he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. You hear that? He that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. That's why you got to know what's right, man. How you gonna know what's right if you don't know what's wrong? You just think this is right. Most people they just feel how they feel. Don't really know how it's supposed to be operating in the truth. It says 21 says, though hand join in hand, we shall overcome. Right? Joining hands, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Hear that? Don't care how many hands you hold together. Say you wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. That's right. The seed of the righteous is going to be delivered. So look at Proverbs 12:5. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. Hear that? So when they counseling and dealing with lies. I showed you they can't help it though. They're in order. Most High made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil in Proverbs 16:4. So they can't help themselves. That's why I said Psalm 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. You hear that? They're estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking what? Speaking lies. That's what the Most High said. So they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So what you gonna do about that? You can do about Most High made them like that. They in order speaking lies. That's their get down. They call it BS. They in order speaking lies. Wisdom of Solomon 10 and look at verse 13 to 15. When the righteous was sold, it says, she forsook him not. Wisdom of the Most High in his Bible, but delivered him from sin. So deliverance from sin means somebody got to be keeping the commandments of the Most High. That's why what's sin? For all you that go to church, what's sin? And it's in the New Testament. I give you that clue. It's in the New Testament. The definition of sin, which is 1 John 3:4. This is the definition of sin. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law. And that's powerful because, a lot of people, that go into these churches and so forth, they're taught that we're not under the law. But here the definition of sin is in the New Testament. You see this? It's not in the Old Testament like this as such. It's in the New Testament y'all supposed to believe in. The definition of sin, whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. And the same laws that the Most High wrote with his finger. Think about it. Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. You're not going to break his laws. So you ain't abiding in him. If you sin, you're not going to break his laws. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. That's deep. Think about that. You sin, you have not seen him, you don't know him. Little children, let no man deceive you. Here we are. That's what we're dealing with. A lot of people been deceived. That's the topic of the hour. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that committeth sin is of the devil. So, hey, you're not under the law. You committing sin. You don't know what the laws are. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. That's what the laws are. He that committeth sin is of the devil. He that telling you that you're not under the law, you don't have to keep the laws because you're under grace, he is of the devil because you're going to sin. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. And in this lesson, you know, you go back to the first lessons that I've done on this, as far as dealing with no liars going to the kingdom. The devil deceived Eve, and she deceived Adam. And that's why we died. For this purpose, the Son of Most High was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. But how are you going to destroy the works of the devil if the devil is up in the churches teaching the people that you ain't got to do what the Most High say do? Make that make sense to me? The Most High took the time to give us 613 laws. And you have preachers saying that we are under the law. Maybe they're not under the law because they are of the devil. He that committed sin is of the devil. That's why they're not under the law. But the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose, the Son of Most High, Mashiach was manifest that he might destroy the works of the devil. That's why Mashiach said it out of his own mouth. Matthew 5:17, because I know it might be someone that's still caught up in Christian sanity, any way, shape, or form. That's why he said out of his own mouth. You believe him? This is what he said out of his own mouth. He said, think not, don't even think, he said, that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill, right? So y'all say he fulfilled everything when his blood was shed for me on the cross, when he was hung on the tree. That's what y'all say, though. Every regurgitate just what they told you. Those that operate under the devil. Because you're going to sin if you ain't looking at what's right from wrong. You don't know moral law, civil law, dietary law, ceremonial law. You are a sinner. You keeping Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, anything. All you have to do is pray over it. They're telling you, oh, that's the lies. Those are all lies. You know what it said? Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's all he had to go by was the law and the prophets, the Old Testament, that they don't open up and understand. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He came to fulfill how he had to suffer for us, the Israelites. Acts, the 3rd chapter, tells you that. Acts 3:18. But those things which the Most High before, was that before, had showed by the mouth of all his prophets. How y'all read the New Testament and you don't go to the Old Testament to find out when it was said? Hear that? But those things which the Most High before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets that the Mashiach Yahushua should suffer, he have so fulfilled. See that? He have so fulfilled. That's what he's going to suffer. for who? Acts 5, he came back and told him, Acts 5, 30 and 31. The most high power of our fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, raised up a Mashiach Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Now, no cross. He was hung on a tree. Him was a Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior for to give repentance to Israel, to the Israelites, and forgiveness of sins. You won't find nowhere where it say he gave repentance to any other nation, because all the nations, they got names in here: Esau, Edomites, Ishmaelites, Ammon, Moab, Ham, Elam. They got names up in here. These nations that's here now, they got names here. That's why he said, Matthew 5:17, think not, don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And he came to fulfill, they just suffer for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what his blood was shed for. We just read it in the 5th chapter of Acts, the 31st verse. Him at the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior for to give repentance to Israel, to the Israelites, right? So it said, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law that y'all say that we not under, till all be fulfilled, right? He said, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, like you preachers are telling we ain't under the commandments, and shall teach men so, that's what y'all teaching, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. And all you that's following them, regurgitating what they say and what you believe in what they say, you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. This is what it say. But whosoever shall do and teach them, do and teach the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Depending on what position you want. If you want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. So going back to Wisdom of Solomon 10:13, so when the righteous was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from sin. And the way you deliver from sin is you got to learn the laws and the commandments of the Most High. She went down with him into the pit, into slavery, and left him not in bonds, in them chains and shackles, till she brought him the scepter, the powers and authority of the kingdom, and power against those that oppressed him. As for them that had accused him, she showed them to be liars and gave him perpetual glory. She delivered the righteous people, who are the Israelites, and blameless seed, those that are not sinners, from the nation that oppressed them. See? That's our power. And that's the power that the Most High is using wisdom in these last days to bring onto this earth. But everybody want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. It's on you. In the end, you're going to see what's right. You're going to see that, okay, you're going to continue to offend him. Like I tell you, for you nations and all Israelites to hear, Jeremiah 12, we're going to take the long route this time. Go to 14. Jeremiah 12:14. Thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob against all mine evil neighbors. The Most High got evil neighbors. And Jeremiah had evil neighbors. And we got evil neighbors. It says that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. The land of Israel. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. Hear what he say? And it shall come to pass in the future, after that I have plucked them out, I will return. He's going to return, y'all. And have compassion on them, those that are not offending him. And looking at these little things that we can stop doing to offend him, so he can look at us and turn his face to us instead of his face being, opposite away from us. He said, it shall come to pass, after that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage, to the lands that he gave to the 12 tribes of Israel, and every man to his land. Understand, overstand this, what the Most High said he gonna do. So don't let nobody say, come here to the land of Israel or wherever. Most High said he gonna do that. Look at Isaiah 60 and 21. He said, thy people also shall be all righteous. Isaiah 60, 21. They shall inherit the land forever. Who gonna put us there? The branch of my planet. That my is the Most High. Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The work of my hands, that my is the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That I may be glorified. You hear that? That's all that the Most High can be glorified. Ain't for none of us. He said that you may be glorified, I might be glorified, or anybody else might be glorified. He said that he may be glorified. Understand, understand this. Go back to Jeremiah 12:15. He said, and it shall come to pass after that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them and will bring them again, every man to his heritage and every man to his land. Now, listen to this closely, you nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you not of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, you listen closely. It says, this shall come to pass, a future prophecy, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people. You think we out here dealing with this and it don't mean anything? You supposed to learn the ways of my people. Who's the Most High's people? Let's go to your New Testament that you believe so much in that don't know exactly what it's talking about. Enough of what it's talking about to really bring the truth to the people. Matthew 2 and 6. Let's see who my people are. Since y'all say, for God so loved the world that he loved it, gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Who is his people? Matthew 2 and 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So now, when you say my people, it's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? If you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, it's not talking about you at all. You got to deal with it. Going back to Jeremiah 12:16, and it shall come to pass if they will diligently learn the ways of my people. So you're supposed to be learning the ways that we're teaching in these last days of this Bible, period. To swear by my name, he said, swear by his name, power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said that's his name forevermore to all generations. One of his names. The Most High liveth. You hear that? The Most High liveth. Listen, as they taught my people, you know, the my people are who? The Israelites. We just defined that in Matthew 2 and 6, right? As they taught my people to swear by B-A-A-L. And y'all have taught the 12 tribes of Israel to swear by B-A-A-L. So I must introduce you to B-A-A-L, what that means, again and again and again until you stop saying it. Because they made us as the Israelites swear by B-A-A-L. What is B-A-A-L meaning? Here it is. Bam. You see it? Can you see it? You see what it means? L-O-R-D. Come on. B-A-A-L means L-O-R-D. And it's all throughout the Bible. Here it is. Hear what it said? As they taught my people who are the 12 tribes to swear by B-A-A-L. L-O-R-D. No. And that's what everybody's saying. Why we trying to stop people from saying it? You don't have to say it. They put it in the Bible. That's who they worship. So they worship B-A-A-L. They Satanists. And they worship B-A-A-L. And they let you know. So if you didn't know, that's L-O-R-D. And that's what everybody calling on. Praise the L-O-R-D. And L-O-R-D all throughout the Bible. Everywhere you look, they have it there. It don't matter if it's capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, or capital L, lowercase O-R-D. It don't matter. It's still B-A-A-L, man. As they taught my people to swear by B-A-A-L. This is something that's mysteries that have been hidden the Most High that's coming out now, y'all. Y'all got to hear this, man. We can get out of here, man. He said, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. You start learning what it is that we're bringing forth as the Israelites, regardless. You know, nobody cries. Like I just read about how, you know, we read it to you again. Nobody cry about this. Nobody had no problem with it. Nobody, it doesn't even move, even our people. Y'all ain't even moved by it. In Psalm 82:6, I have said, ye are gods, ye are powers, and all of you are the children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Nobody react to that. That we're gonna die like men. Who reacts to that? Nobody. Y'all ain't feeling that at all. But y'all feel everything else. That's about somebody else or some other nation or something else going on with women or anything, anybody else except for the men of Israel. We least thought about. And the Most High called men. We the ones. I'll just show you how this twisted world is when you look at Most High called men. And the men, he said, gonna die. He's gonna kill us. And we've been killed. And who cares? Who really care about how you feel about that? Nobody really care about, but y'all care about how he gonna deal with somebody else. And we as chosen people. Get out. Man, that's why he said, Jeremiah 12:16, as they taught my people to swear by Baal. You can't tell me that ain't true. Y'all calling all the time, and you don't know. You know now. Lord. To this day, man. That means Baal. And they put it in the Bible, and you calling on them. They can read it most certainly because they know that that's Baal for them. We don't know it because it ain't been revealed to you. Now it's been revealed to you. That's why it's time to change. As they taught my people to swear by Baal, it's all in the Bible. Every Bible got it. All of them. Quran, everything got it. Lord. They know you ain't gonna worship no Baal, but you are, and not knowing it. Well, we gotta keep on putting in your face, man, till it click. One day it click, you say, wow, I gotta stop saying it like I was saying all praises. Justify that. You can't say all praise to the Most High, APTMH, what, ATTMH? Ask your brother out there, I'm gonna start to keep on asking. You know what APTTMH mean? People don't know what that's talking about. Y'all can't even put all praise to the Most High. You can't even type that out. You just said something that could add up as many letters as it takes to put all praises to the Most High. You can't praise him enough, man. Why we're in the condition we in? Because we ain't praising, we do what he say do. His name is jealous. Here we are, said, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. You ain't built in the midst of Most High's people. If you ain't doing this, but if they will not obey, you know what he said? If you don't want to obey, you nations, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. But if they will not obey, what? Verse 16, and it shall come to pass if they will diligently learn the ways of my people. You got to learn the ways of the Most High's people. Verse 17, but if they will not obey, you don't want to learn the ways that we bringing forth here. You want to toss it out like he say. You like he said. And when we started this in Psalms 50 and 16, 17, but unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes in, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth with all these different Christian sanity, religions, and so forth? It says, seeing thou hateth instruction, it's an instruction book, basic instruction before leaving this earth. Being seen, thou hateth instruction and casteth my words behind thee. What did he say? Jeremiah 12:16. It shall come to pass if they will diligently learn the ways of my people. You got to learn the ways of the Israelites. To swear by my name. You got to swear by the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And even though you're not part of the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. He says, swear by his name. You know, the Most High liveth. As they taught my people to swear by Baal, your people put this in the Bible. We didn't write these Bibles and put Lord in here. We didn't do that. We're not responsible for that. But you are responsible for that. You're responsible for calling on Baal, knowing that it means Lord, and putting it in there, change it up to Lord. And to this day, what's the difference? If my name Thomas, my name Thawam, the same person, same name, what's different do it make? Same thing. Baal is Lord. Baal is Lord. Baal is Lord. Baal is Lord. Lord is Baal. Lord is Baal. Lord is Baal. You get it? It's the same thing. He said, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, which is Lord, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. Everybody ain't gonna be built in the midst of the Most High people. We the Israelites. This is what he said. But if they would not obey, you don't obey, learning the ways of the Most High's people, we the Israelites, what we bring forth according to the truth, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. Who said it? Said the Most High. Play around with him if you want to. That's why he said that. Isaiah 60:12. You want to be built in the midst of us? Isaiah 60:12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee. We in Isaiah, we ain't in Jeremiah no more. We in Isaiah. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. See that? And he told us, look, you want to be part of this kingdom that's coming to the Israelites. He told us. Isaiah 14:1. He said that. For the Most High will have mercy, which is not getting something you do deserve, on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. The Most High gonna do this. He already said he's gonna plant us in our own land. And we read that in Isaiah 60:21. And the strangers of these other nations shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're gonna be cleaving to us. And the people shall take them, the ones that learn the ways of his people, to be in the midst of us. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. You hear that? That's the future prophecy. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. We're going to have rest. We're going to have rest. He's going to give us rest. From our sorrow and from our fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, America, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city of America ceased. For the Most High have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter, the powers and authority of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. You can feel it, can't you? If you can't, you must be in some kind of imaginary bubble or something. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hinder. Ain't nobody gonna help. The whole earth is at rest at this time. You hear that? The whole earth is at rest. And it's quiet. They break forth into singing. You hear that? The earth gonna be quiet. So they're gonna break forth into singing when he bring the wrath and the judgment upon this earth to set righteousness upon this earth. Where there's no more war. You know? And y'all gonna be doing this. Isaiah 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and come. And it's what they're going to say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways. You hear that? And we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. See, it's going to come forth from us, we the Israelites. To go forth the law and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem, from where we at. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords in the plowshares. You're going to, like I said, you're going to be servants and handmaids. You're going to beat your swords, all your army utensils and everything you got in your military ordinances, your swords and the plowshares, and the farming utensils, and their spears and the puny hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Hear that? Neither shall they learn war anymore. Ain't no nation gonna lift up sword against nation in the kingdom. Neither shall they learn war anymore. That's the kingdom right there. That's why it says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Y'all better be afraid and scared of the Most High. That's what that means. And keep his commandments. So you're afraid of him, you're going to keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. Everything that we've done in keeping his laws, such commandments into judgment. Through a Mashak with every secret thing. Remember the Most High eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, and even the secret parts. With every secret thing being written in the books, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Either you're going to be on the good side, you're going to be on the evil side. We know what's good, y'all. Right, class? Romans 7 and 12. Romans 7 and 12. This was good, y'all. That's what he's going to judge you by. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. So I'm going to judge you by what you've done, whether it was good or evil. That's why it's very important that you see this, understand this, understand this, because some big deceptions going in this world, man. And 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, 2 Corinthians 11, 14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Hear that? So he done transform himself into an angel of light, the deepest deceptor and tempter and evil spirit that exists. He done appeared as an angel of light to people, and they don't even recognize it. Remember when we started with Revelation 18:23, they deceive all the nations through their sorceries. So he's using, all the power of Satan to do this for their multitude of witchcrafts. Therefore, there's no great thing if his ministers also be transformed. They transform themselves as the ministers of righteousness. Now people think that they're righteous, but they're not righteous. They're telling you not under the laws. That's the only way you're going to be righteous, if you keep the laws of the Most High. So therefore, they're not righteous because they're telling you not under the law of the Most High, whose end shall be according to their works, according to them not keeping the laws of the Most High, gonna get you. Verse 13, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. Talk about Jesus Christ, this, that, and the third, whatever. They ain't dealing with the Most High. They ain't dealing with a Mashiach that was shot. And they're going to receive, as it says, whose end shall be according to their works. for what they've done in deceiving the people. Straight up. Second Corinthians 5:10. We must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High, and put him in the seat to judge for himself, that every one may receive the thing done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua. You know about that? Y'all talk about the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua. Just think he all sweet and like this cat. Y'all think y'all probably think this is what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about him. It's the devil that the Bible talks about. He's a brother. Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua, we persuade men. But we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciousness, hopefully the way you think. And I want you to like or dislike and, the video, the lesson. Slide. You got to change, y'all. Y'all say y'all in the Mashiach, but you got to look at what offends, Most High, what offends the Mashiach Yahushua. Better read this Bible for solutions of what works. I'm telling you what works. I'm telling you, in the spirit of the Most High, before the Most High, you got to change, man. Matter of fact, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Mashiach, are you rolling by Shama Mashiach Yahushua? He is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Or women. Old things have become new. You still talking about the world. You still thinking about the world. You are the world. And you at war with the Most High. That's what James 4:4 says. You had enmity with the Most High. You're the enemy of the Most High. But leave that world alone. You still in that world, you still there. That's who you are. Therefore, if any man or woman be in Mashiach, you rolling by Shama Mashiach, that would say, here's a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And all things are of the Most High, who have reconciled us to himself by Mashiach Yahushua and have given to us the ministry of reconciliation. What if you didn't just say, I'm just going to stay, hardcore and just deal with you with my wrath? What would we be at? See? But he showed us compassion, his love. He gave us mercy. You just read, you're going to have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set us in our own land. So with that, hopefully that was edifying. We're going to continue on this because I got a lot to go. You know how I do it. But I say, Kwam Most High, and Kwam Mashiach Yahushua, and Kwam Yasharala, and I'm out. The water for joining me. Shalom.